All right, next up in the news, this comes from Australia, and the family of an Australian man who was the father of 4 children. He collapsed and died at a rugby league carnival. He was only 40. His name was Fred Lemson. He played the position of front row forward. He was only 40 years old. At halftime, as he walked off the field during halftime, he had a massive heart attack and died on the field, right on the spot, right during the halftime of the game. And the family is really upset because after he died on the field at this rugby league carnival, the game was allowed to go on despite the fact that he died. They just kept playing. So the brother says, why didn't they call it off? That means, why didn't they stop the game? This was not a broken leg. Somebody died on that field. But they just didn't give a damn, is what he says. The organizers of the rugby carnival held a minute's silence before allowing play to go on. So they had a moment of silence for the man who just died on the field right in front of them, and then they just kept playing. The All Blacks Carnival, which is what it's called, is one of the biggest on the indigenous sporting calendar. It involves almost about 400 mostly indigenous players from 16 teams across northern Australia. So, this Lemson man, his funeral will be held on Monday, and it said his family also raised questions about the standard of insurance and medical treatment available to the tournament, as well as the ambulance response time. They're saying that there weren't medics there and the ambulance took too long to get there. Some have claimed it took a half an hour before the ambulance was even called. By then it was too late. So, somebody is getting sued. That's pretty much how it boils down. So, if you're so inclined, please say a little prayer for this guy and his family in Australia. He was only 40. Massive heart attack at 40. I'm only 37. I'm only 3 years younger than this guy. Yikes!